Well,
give,
we'll be all set.
okay. You are host.
Okay. Great.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Donna. See ya. Yep. Okay, crew, how are you? It's yeah, just 6:30 or thereabouts. So let's open this meeting of the Ashburnham Conservation Commission for February 22nd in accordance with the Mass Wetlands Protection Act and regulations and the Ashburnham Wetlands Protection Bylaw and its rules and regulations. First up on the agenda was to be 5 Stodge Road. However, as we've discussed in the past, they need to coordinate their project with the Mass Natural Heritage Endangered Species Program, and which they are in the process of doing and have not received a response from the program as yet. So they requested a continuance, which I acknowledged. And so we're looking at March 8th for their appearance, assuming they get a response. If not, it's going to be March 22nd before we hear from them. So that's a done deal. So, but I mean, for the record, I'm going to make a motion to continue the hearing for 5 Stodge Road until March 8th.
Second.
There you go. All in favor? Marshall Dennis, aye.
Ann O'Connor, aye.
Chris Bocconi, aye.
Okay, so that is duly extended until March 8th, and we'll just see what happens at that time. Next on the agenda is a notice of intent for continued for 33 Hay Road. Applicant is filing for the addition to a garage within the buffer zone of bordering vegetated wetlands. Nate, I see you are here.
Hello.
Hi. I've reviewed the NOI and I believe have distributed same to other members of the commission. So why don't you just, give us a summary of what's proposed and we'll go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So existing right now is a 2-stall garage, Cape style. And we'd like to add an addition to the garage, extending it 1 bay over and building a dwelling above it. The reason being because last year my grandparents decided to move back home from Florida. And that was mainly because they wanted to be next to family again. They missed us and we missed them. And, with COVID and everything, they wanted to be close again.
I acknowledge.
Really so. So we they discussed their budget and everything. And obviously housing market right now is astronomical. And for them to find a place it wasn't too viable, to be honest, with not only the pricing, but the inventory too. We looked and there just wasn't really anything out there. So we brought the idea up to, add a little bit more space to the garage for them to park, and then add an apartment above so they can be comfortable and have their own place to live and still stay close by. So that was really the conception of the project. And then we had a design team design the whole garage for us. Today, actually, I got the septic system design, and I could probably share the screen to show you if you'd like. I have it on a PDF on the computer screen.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it's. Well, I can share screen, right? I think. So is this your screen or my screen now?
Beats a flying hoo-ha out of me. Um,
I can share the PDF that we got a few weeks ago, but it sounds like you have a new septic design.
Yeah, so we had Mark Popham come by, and he was the engineer who.
What if you click on that little tab on the top left that says for Conservation Commission? I wonder is that the top left of your screen?
So if you go down here, it's just going to show you the main.
See where it says for conservation on the top left? Not don't.
sorry.
This is showing Mr. Dennis's screen right now.
Oh. I don't know how you did that.
I'm not either.
If you exit out of your share screen, I should be able to do it.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, let's try that again. Oh, yeah, this should be it. Asking me to go through some security. 1 second.
Can you quick email it to us?
Absolutely. I can forward you over. If someone has their email handy.
I don't know. You could send it to me. I'll try forwarding it.
Yeah. What's your email?
ANNE
Yep.
at ANNEOC.com.
So ANNE@ANNEOC.com.
Yep.
All right. Sending it over right now. Yeah, it said I would have to quit the Zoom to come back before the security thing's approved. So this is probably easier.
Looks like it came in.
Excellent.
All right. So forward to Marshall Dennis. Chris Bacone. Is there anyone else I should send it to right now?
Not at the moment.
Okay, I hit go. As long as the attachment stayed on, we'll be good to go. You might need to hit refresh on your email.
So are we waiting for something?
Yeah, I emailed it to you.
I can share it. I've got it from email. Do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
All right, in theory. Share the screen. Let's see if this works.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
At least that's what was just emailed to us.
Yep.
Can you scroll down?
That's all. It was one. That's it. It's one page.
Yeah, there should be one page of the whole land, and then one page of the system, the septic system.
And did you?
I sent 2 files. One was called 33 Hay Road, Ashburnham Septic Modifications Plan,
Oh,
MWPT sheet 1, and then there's sheet 2.
Yep, I just realized there's another sheet here. All right, so I can find that. I don't know if it's gonna share, I think it's only gonna share one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So which one do you want to look at first? Sheet 1 or sheet 2?
Well, let's try sheet 1.
That's what you're looking at now, correct?
Okay.
So in there, you can kind of see centered is the existing garage, and then right below that is an open square rectangle.
Right.
That'd be
Right.
the proposed.
Yeah.
Um, above that, you can see the wetlands that are, so that's within the buffer zone.
Right.
Um, and then below that to the left is the leach field, and kind of in the middle of the leach field and the garage is a rectangle for the septic system where it's proposed to go, and where it would, you can kind of see a line where the pipe would tie into the leach field.
So why weren't these plans submitted within notice of intent?
These were just submitted to me today. I was on like a phone tag with Mr. Mark Popham here and there, and he didn't get around to finish them until today. So, I mean, that's kind of where I was, at, I guess, where we were.
Because that was one of my concerns slash comments, that the plan that we received, showed a rectangle, and that's about it. There was no, water line, no sewer line, no nothing. So is the water line shown on this too?
There is, so we would have to drill a new well,
Oh,
which
okay.
I think on number 4 in the notes section on like the top right.
I see it.
So there's a
Okay.
proposed well installation that will require Board of Health variance to well regulations 4.1, the reduction of 25 feet setback to property line. I'm not sure what the rest kind of means, way to 12 feet and 15 feet respectively.
Yeah, okay. Is that in the process, or is that just something you need to do in the future?
Yeah, we had our existing well tested and the flow rate wasn't powerful enough to use for the addition. So
Mhm.
the plan would be to drill a new well and have a upgraded system, so then both dwellings can be powered by that well or supplied by the well.
Okay, and again, if I'm looking at this plan correctly, that new well is the one that's semi-surrounded by siltation controls?
Yeah, I think that's like in the top right area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Okay. All right, so, so essentially all the activities are proposed to occur within the 100-foot buffer zone?
Yeah, the garage addition,
Mhm.
it's within 100 feet, yes.
And I guess the septic tank is there going to be a pump chamber in the septic tank, or is it gravity?
It's a pump chamber, yep. It says 500-gallon pump chamber.
Oh, I see it. Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Marshall, I have the details on the septic tank itself, but I don't know if we need those as much. I think what we really need is what we're looking at.
Yeah, I think the site plan is,
Yeah.
there's an existing shed to the left of the garage.
Yeah, it's a dog kennel, but
Okay, okay. So if I look at the, trying to focus on the wetland, okay, boundary. But again, the garage already exists, so thank
yeah.
you. And the existing shed there, everything else is there. Okay. All right, that's good. Okay. So at this point, you just need Board of Health approval,
Yeah, I believe so.
which limited it to 1 bedroom, and beyond that,
Yeah, just 1 bedroom because that's what the existing leach field allows for.
right. And is there something from the planning board that you need, or are you all set there?
The zoning board?
Yeah, well, the planning board,
Yeah.
whatever.
That was contingent upon the Board of Health approval.
Okay.
And coming to the conservation because of the buffer zone.
Right, okay. All right, anybody else have any, Chris, Ann, any comments?
Just how do we make sure that these 2 documents, the one we're looking at now, the ones that were just emailed tonight, how do we make sure those become officially part of the NOI file?
Those need to be, the plans that Ann received and then referred need to be officially filed. So Nate, if you could get those to one of us and or to Rich Turcott, the conservation agent,
Yeah, I can do that.
it will be helpful. And, you know, the other thing is that the original plan that was included in the NOI is kind of barely legible. Is there some way of trying to, resend something that's not like, looks like a fan or a corrugated box?
Yeah, which plan was it? Is it the
This was Chris Mossman's Trowbridge plan, which showed the site plan, but had a penciled in proposed addition 16 by 24.
yeah.
I mean, the one that I got is, I can't read anything on it.
Okay.
I can,
All right.
I'll share it with you, and I pulled it up. I think I can
Okay,
share it.
so if you can, submit that plan plus the 2 additional ones so that we can reference them in the order of conditions, that would be the best of all worlds.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can go through that original plan and correct anything that is maybe not legible. Absolutely.
I would just resubmit them to Rich and then the agent, and he will transfer them to us, and then, we can draft the order
Okay.
with the proper references. But we just got to make sure we have, we didn't receive the plans that you showed until tonight. So
Yeah.
we'll need to be able to have those.
You need paper copies too, correct?
Not necessarily. We'll, as long as we have the plans that, we could print out if need be,
Okay.
I think we'll be all set.
All right. So I'm going to email Richard the plans that we just seen that are new tonight, as well as the original plans with
Yeah, which is identified as subsurface disposal works design.
yeah. Okay.
Just try, resubmitting those.
Yeah, I can do that.
Then I think we'll be all set. John Moulton, are you there? Is John a consultant to you?
Can you
Nate?
hear me, Marshall?
I can, John. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thanks. Are
I'm
you?
actually listening in. I'm with the Dave Christensen and Jamie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you might be with us, but all right, hang on. I'll get to you in a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, good enough. Anything else, folks, regarding the 33 Hay Road? No? All right. And then I will make a motion to close the public hearing for 33 Hay Road.
Second,
All those in favor? Marshall Dennis, aye.
Ann O'Connor, aye.
Chris Spiconi, aye.
All right, and then I'll make a motion to issue an order of conditions per receipt of all pertinent plans as discussed this evening, and the discussion we've had tonight.
Okay, second,
All right, all those in favor? Marshall Dennis, aye.
Ann O'Connor, aye.
Chris Spiconi, aye.
All right, so, it's the issue, the order of conditions will be issued contingent upon our receipt of the plans as we've discussed.
You got it. I can
Good.
do it.
All right, awesome.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Okay, you too. All right, another case cracked. All right. Next on the agenda is visitors Jamie Rowe and Dave Christensen. There he is. John Moulton. Jamie, you want to just, I've distributed the information that you forwarded. So you can just summarize what we're talking
Okay.
about. I think we'll be all set.
Is it okay if I share my screen, Marshall?
Indeed, please do.
Okay, thank you. Share. Okay, so good evening, everybody. Jamie Rowe from Whitman and Bingham Associates, and Dave Christensen and John Moulton are with us as well. I want to say several months ago, we came to the board and discussed Dave Christensen purchasing 2 lots off of Lower Knockeg Lake. And so if you can see my screen, here's Lower Knockeg Lake in Ashburnham. I'll zoom in so everybody can see exactly where we're talking about. This is Sari Camp Road. And at the very end of Sari Camp Road, we have lot 22 and lot 23. There's an order of conditions issued for lot 22 and 23. But this evening, we're here talking about lot 22, where Dave and Lynn Christensen would like to build their house. We have a septic system design by Northland Engineering. And this is the plan that was approved by the Board of Health and the Conservation Commission. And typically, most engineering companies, when they design a septic system, will put a spec house on here, a box, so to speak. And when the property is sold, the owner will have a house designed. In this particular case, Dave Christensen had John Moulton design the house. And so we placed the new house on the plan and did a regrading plan. And here's the regrading plan that we sent over to Marshall for discussion and approval. There is an existing house on the property today, which will be demoed, which was part of the order of conditions. It's located, if this is the septic system primary that's shown on Whitman and Bingham's plan, it's located a little bit towards the lake and to the left. So a little bit to the lake and to the left. So the existing house is right here in the vicinity of the proposed garage. and the new driveway being proposed. That'll be demoed. And here is the new house. And follow my cursor all the way around. The driveway will come in, new driveway, basically same location as the original plan. And this is the new layout of the house. Because the house is completely different than the original plan, we had to regrade the property behind the house and to the right as well. Septic system stays the same. The fill for the septic system stays the same. The fill you're seeing is going to be different in this particular area and in this particular area. All the slopes that are shown on the plan are 2-to-1, which are very minimum. 2-to-1 here and 2-to-1 over here as well. We relocated the well. We're showing the well further to the right and further away from the lake as well. The proposed well on the original plan was located here. And according to Valerie's plan, it was 25 feet off the lake. In this particular case, we're going to have it greater than 42, maybe 50 feet away from the lake, shown right over here. The line will go into the house. Tank will come out of the front. The D-box is going to be right where the system is. We're going to show a 12-foot deck off of this little bump out behind the house. And then the deck is just going to wrap around and tie back into the house itself. You could imagine with a deck like this in the house, having a beautiful view of the lake. It's going to be wonderful. Let me show you some pictures of the site that Dave Christensen took this weekend, I believe. So here's the existing house that's going to be demoed.
What's wrong with that?
Ah,
That's what my father said. We can renovate that.
Exactly, yeah.
so this is the view, basically standing at the deck, looking at the lake itself.
Yep.
And the third picture is the same, but a little bit to the left from the deck, looking at the lake a little bit to the left. You can see vegetation is very sparse. Few trees here and there, but again, the scrub is very sparse as well. So, in speaking with Marshall, I asked if we could come before the board and show the regrading plan, show the new house size and location, have the discussion with the board, and hopefully get this approved via letter that you can put in the file. So Mr. Christensen can now move forward and finalize the design of his house and start building in the spring.
Okay, a couple questions. I'm looking at Val's plan,
Sure.
and relative to the septic system, they have the edge of wetlands like 100 feet away.
Yep, right here is the buffer zone.
So, and on your plan, the wetlands are 32 feet away.
Oh, no. So let's go back here. So this is the primary system right here.
Yeah,
And that primary system, Marshall, is the system we show on our plan.
right. Oh,
And so that is 100 feet away from the wetlands. On Valerie's plan, this is the buffer zone right here. See that?
Okay.
100 feet from the edge of wetlands, right to the corner of the system.
okay,
100 feet right to the corner of the system, same thing. Yep.
okay. That was my issue, trying to,
It's a little deceiving.
orient them both the
Yeah.
same so that, okay.
Yeah, and I apologize, it's a little deceiving, Marshall, because Valerie's plan, I believe, is at 1 inch equals 20 feet. And to actually zoom it up, I put it at 30 feet. A lot
Okay.
easier to read. So it can be disorienting that way. But the fill here is in the buffer zone. And this fill here is new fill, Marshall, because of the house size.
Hmm.
So we regraded around the house, 2-to-1 slopes. And when we did grade it, the fill itself for the grading of the house is going to be 32 feet away.
And under the previous plan, it's not clear from that plan How far away was the house from the wetland?
The house, yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not clear to me.
Not me neither.
Yeah, me either, unfortunately. It's
Yeah.
very difficult. There's a lot of lines on this plan. and I-
Well,
and
not only that, but this particular plan that you're showing doesn't show enough geography to do that.
in the behind the house, that's why we went out and we topoed behind the house so we can
Yeah.
see how the grades lay out.
Right.
Especially this is going to be a walkout. And
Mhm.
one of the things I was very concerned about, you had mentioned it before, Marshall, about the elevation of 1075.
Correct.
And so that was in the back of my mind the whole time. So we reshot it and we put it on NAD 88 as a
Mhm.
datum.
Yeah,
And I think I gave you an elevation, right?
You did.
So,
you
so
did.
here's, the significance of, what is it, 1075, I guess, is a
Right.
zoning overlay district.
Yeah,
And we don't shoot mean sea level. We
Mm.
shoot the NAD 88 when we do our GPS.
correct. Yep.
So mean sea level is 31 hundredths lower than NAD 88. So if we go to our plan,
Right.
1075 is here.
Yep.
And it's going to be lower than that. So
Right.
we're not showing any work. And here's 1075 down here as well. So we're not showing any work within that 1075 overlay district.
Right.
And I wanted to confirm that with you guys too.
No, I think that's, for what it's worth.
I don't know what it's worth, to be honest with you.
I'm not sure either under these particular circumstances, but, as I've told Jamie before, we're trying to do away with that and hopefully, at a future town meeting, we will do so.
But it's important to know moving forward though, Marshall, that the 1075 is not the water's edge. It comes into the property a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah, and I don't know what the water level was back in October of 2019, but that's what we shot the water level back when we did the topo. So just a basis of comparison. That's all.
No, agreed. Okay. Let's see here.
I forgot to mention, we're gonna envelop the whole project with hay bales,
Yeah.
silt fence and wattles, if that's
Yep.
okay. I think that's a good way to go. If you wanted to double it up down here, any place, happy to do that. Don't think it's necessary, but happy to do it.
Well, you're proposing a double, erosion control
Yep,
anyway.
yep.
That's fine. Okay, so what are you looking for the commission to do?
So when I spoke with you, Marshall, a couple, before the previous meeting this month, we talked about submitting the regrading plan, and we talked
Yep.
about the potential of the Conservation Commission agreeing to the regrading plan. You can do it in a letter and have the letter go in the file, and that would be acceptable. But if there's another way to do it that you're more comfortable with, that's fine with us. We just want your blessing so we can move forward. And we'll keep you guys informed every step of the way as construction progresses as well.
Are you going to submit formally a notice of intent?
Well, that's the issue, right? So we have an order of conditions for the project, albeit we're changing the house location and the house size. Does the commission want to issue an amended order of conditions, or does the commission want to recognize the sketch we submitted and put it in the file as part of the existing order?
I dare ask, the order of conditions was issued in what, 2008?
So here it is. So the order of conditions was issued in 2018. I'm sorry, recorded in 2018. Let's see if the date of issuance was 10/23/2018.
Okay,
So it's still valid. We're good until the 2021 in October. And I don't think the project will be complete by then, but I'm sure we'll ask for an extension of time. And if the commission will grant a 1 or 3 year extension, I think that's all we need.
okay, what I would do given that the design is, well, different, grading wise, et cetera. I would recommend requesting an amendment. Which is not a big deal.
Okay.
Just so that what Dave has is an up-to-date approval that references what in reality is going to happen on the site.
Okay. So from a timing perspective, Marshall, Dave has to finalize his house plans because it's going to be a modular construction.
Yep.
And he'd like to formalize the house plans as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So that, because there's going to be some time, there's a lag of time between getting the final plans, getting them approved by the state. Is it possible to discuss the plan now and have us submit a request for an amended order of conditions at your next meeting?
Yeah, I mean, that when you say you got to have the plans approved by the state, what are you referring to?
So Dave, could you explain the process to Marshall and the commission, what you're going through with the house plans?
If John is still on, he certainly can, because he's managing that process for us.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Okay, yeah, I'm having trouble with camera, but I can hear you.
that's all right.
The plans are probably 75, 80% done. We're at the stage now where if you know, we've got the footprint that you're looking at right there. And we're just waiting for final, and then we can send our plans off to Commonwealth of Mass to get the structural and energy audits and all that stuff certified. Then they come back to us to get the local building permit once they're stamped and approved. So we're at the stage where we're ready to send that off to the state, and the state will probably take at least, the way things are going down there right now, at least a month for approvals. And then it comes back to us to start the local building permit.
All right, this is kind of information for me. Who in the state is involved?
They go through, the modular home company goes through third party, which is accepted by the state of Massachusetts.
Okay.
And so they have a third party engineering firms that do all the stamp. And then it's approved by signatory with the state.
So, and this is the typical modus operandi with modular facilities?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yes. It's changed somewhat over the years, but essentially it's been that way, yep.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I see no reason why, you know, you can't request an amendment. I don't know, tomorrow.
Yep.
And you know, because there's no form. You just do so, and then at the next meeting we can you know, move to approve the amendment and issue an order, amended order per these plans.
Yep.
Okay,
Oh,
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't see that holding up anything. I mean, you can continue to do
yes,
whatever you're
Yeah.
doing
that.
coordination wise at the state level.
Yep.
While this is happening locally.
yeah, we'll go ahead and do that.
Yep.
Yeah, we just
That-
wanted to make sure in case we had to make a jog 20
No.
feet some way or another or something like that. So it's a complicated house. There's a lot going on with it, so.
Yeah, no, I personally, I'll leave it to the other members, but I don't see the issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Yep. Any issues
Chris,
with the other?
Dan, anything?
This is not relevant maybe, but would filing the amendment extend their deadline past October 21?
No. No, as a matter of statute and regulations, an amendment does not extend the validity of a permit. So it still will expire at whatever that date was. But they're free to at least 30 days prior to October 23rd, request an extension.
And I'm a little more optimistic on the schedule maybe than Jamie, but of course that's going to depend on John. So we'll see. We're going to try and work our way through the summer.
Like I said, I
Yeah.
mean, this is going to expire on April 23rd of this year, or October 23rd of this year.
Yep.
So even if we, issue an amendment in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you can still file for, there's plenty of time to file for an extension, which would give you another 3 years.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
So-
We told Marshall, we told you when we came before you way back when with this project, we come back before you with this type of a plan and with just following through. And what I'll do is I'll write a letter, attach this plan, email it to Rich Turcott and yourself requesting an amended order of conditions referencing this plan. We'll see you in 2 weeks, but you guys feel comfortable enough to let Dave know that he can go forward with his structural design and no problem, no issues.
I personally have no issue with it, and I'll leave it to the others to, chime in as they will.
Yep,
Okay. Awesome.
fantastic, excellent.
So I think that's the way to go, is request the amendment. We'll deal with it in 2 weeks. March 8th, I believe it is.
Yep.
And then within, shortly thereafter, we'll issue the amendment. And, but meanwhile, you can feel free to continue doing whatever you're doing.
Okay. Yeah, that
Fantastic.
works. That's
Appreciate
awesome.
it.
Fantastic. Thank you.
All right, John, before you leave,
Yes.
so what was your decision on the MVP work session?
Well, I honestly, I just started reading it some more today. So we've just been totally buried. So it's,
bet.
I haven't even been in the office, but it sounds interesting, Marshall, it does. And
Well, if you can find the time,
yep.
we certainly would welcome your participation.
All right. I think we can make some arrangements for that.
Okay.
And I will send you an email. I'll send you an update tomorrow.
I appreciate it.
And let you know what's going on.
Awesome. All right.
Very
Sorry
good.
for the diversion here, but
No problem.
okay. So I think you folks are all set, and we
Good to go.
will await your request.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, Dave. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank
Everybody
you.
have a great
Jamie,
night.
take care. Yeah.
Thank
too,
you, everybody.
Good.
All right.
Take care.
All right.
So if I hit leave meeting,
All right, just a couple other things. I sent you what I received from Anthony Callahan on 79 Dunn Road, which was some information about his proposed landscaping scheme. Did you folks get that?
Yeah, I got that email. I mean,
Yeah.
we usually don't get into so much detail, it seems, in terms of recommending, this species versus that. It seems like in the
Well,
past.
it was just that, the order specified that he had to plant, native stuff.
Yeah.
And rather than leave it to chance, and I had given him sketch plan of his plan, which had, minimum numbers of plantings here and there. And I also told him that it was incumbent upon him to tell us, how he was going to comply with the order to do native species. And hence the list that he sent. I briefly looked at it. I don't think I have any issues, at least with respect to the plant species composition. So if it's all the same, I'm going to respond that, we discussed it and, looks good to me. So, all right, then I'm going to make a motion to confirm with Mr. Callahan the plant species composition as proposed in his email, which I've forwarded to you.
Second,
All those in favor, Marshall Dennis, aye.
Ann O'Connor, aye.
Chris Paconi, aye. And
Great.
for the minutes, just remind me, you made a motion to just approve the plan as submitted over email?
To approve the list of proposed plant species associated with the hillside restoration plan. And I will take a look again at the edited plan I submitted to him relative to the numbers. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the composition is sufficient. I'm sure he'll be greatly pleased. Okay, the last thing is the minutes of February 8th, which I did send out. Any comments, discussion related thereto?
Nope.
Okay. Then I'm going to make a motion to approve the minutes of February 8th, 2021.
Second,
All those in favor, Marshall Dennis, aye.
Ann O'Connor, aye.
Chris Paconi, aye.
Awesome. We're so up to date. I can't believe it. All right, it being 7:19, you do know that special town meeting is ongoing as we speak.
I know, I wondered if this was legal for us to meet.
Well, I got a call from from Rosemary earlier today, and she said, I can't believe they let you get away with having a commission meeting on the same night as a town meeting. I said, not my doing.
Well, no, and they weren't doing it remotely either. I mean, I wouldn't want to be sitting in the audience right now.
No, exactly. And of course she said, and it being a rather snowy night, which is going to be problematic for some people. And for the record, I will tell you, I didn't copy either of you, but I sent a email missive to the Board of Selectmen, copied Roger Hoyt, Planning Board, Lorraine D'Souza from Open Space, Dave Perry from the CBA, because there was warrant article 11 that had to do with transferring monies that way back when were to be allocated for the hiring of a town planner. And it was going to go back to the advisory board. And so I wrote a letter to the board saying, this was, misguided and that we really needed, given everything that's going on, we needed at least, the service of a planner. I mean, I'm on 5 committees. Chris, you're on, a few. Lorraine's on a few. I mean, people are going bonkers trying to deal with, everything that's going on, bylaw review committee, blah, blah, blah. And it's just very difficult for us to volunteer wise. I told him, I said, I'm up here in the office more often than I'm downstairs. It's kind of like a full-time job. And, you know, we need some relief, we need some assistance. And so I asked them to, you know, reconsider transferring the funds. But I think you know, the seed has been planted and they're going to make accommodations for at least a part-time planner in the future. Because the way it is now, you got the planning board doing something, you got the board of selectmen doing something, bylaw review committee doing something, blah, blah, blah. It's in 12 different directions, and there's no one central repository or clearinghouse to deal with all this. So anyway, Roger Hoyt and Lorraine sent supporting emails to the select board in response to my email. So I think it's going to carry some weight, and in the not too distant future, we'll have some assistance.
Good.
Before we all dissolve and burn out.
Speaking of hiring in the downstairs at town hall, it looks like we have a new building inspector.
We do,
When-
but you know, I don't know what happened to Rick Travers. I think he was looking to depart, not that he was here that long, for whatever reason. Sarah Colgan, I think.
Yeah, I saw the new name on some form and I didn't know if that was just very recent or I just hadn't noticed before.
No, I mean, she's only been here a week,
Oh,
maybe 10 days now.
Huh.
So, you know, she's just really getting up to speed. She will be participating in the MVP work session.
Good.
Which I think is good, to give her a chance to, you know, learn a little bit about what we're about. But yeah, I don't know the circumstances, how that all came to be.
that work session Thursday is by Zoom, right?
It is by Zoom at 8:30.
Yeah, I haven't thought about the more. But.
You know, Ann, I will send you information if you care to participate, or if you're available.
I'll be working that day.
Okay.
So, you know, let me know what happens for sure, because it sounds like.
I will.
you know,
Well, you know, that's what I assumed. I mean, I sent out invitations to God know how's many people, and you know, the response hasn't been great. But you know, this is Ashburnham.
Was that pair who decided to have the sessions on work days?
It was, and you know,
Because they don't really want a lot of feedback, I guess.
I don't know whether it's strategy or whether their experience is that if you have it on weekends, less people attend because they're taking advantage of their days off from work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it probably works both ways.
Yeah.
But you know.
Well, town meeting's always at night, right? Here?
Yeah.
I thought they alternate. They usually do a Saturday morning in one of them, and then an evening on the alternate. Like spring is in the evening, I guess. And
yeah, I don't really know, but you know, by the time we're done with this meeting, town meeting may be over. I mean,
Yeah.
Rosemarie was not anticipating a lengthy session this evening, but
Is there a quorum they had to meet?
there was.
not
And-
anymore. I think that they got rid of the quorum a few years ago.
Oh, did they really?
It got voted in. I was at the meeting when they voted that in.
Well, at 6:30, there was going to be the caucus
Yeah.
meetings,
That'll drive you.
whatever that is. I'm not big on those, but, and then the town meeting at 7. So,
And I think they got rid of the quorum because of nights like this where they're trying to get the business done and they needed 75
3
or 50
people.
people and they weren't there.
Yeah.
They got frustrated, like, so you know what? Get rid of it.
Yeah, well, they kept waiting for, and they get on their cell phones and start calling people to,
Yeah.
you know, please show up.
Yeah.
So they had 25 or whatever the number was. So, okay, well,
I
next
did
week,
take a quick look
Go
at the dam. We got the documentation about the dam removal.
I acknowledge it. And I printed out the EIR for my own review.
Oh,
Um,
used up.
um,
Gonna need a new ink cartridge now, but
I just bought a whole new set. Yeah.
I didn't have time to read it all, but I was interested that the DEP comments I thought were the most useful.
Okay, I haven't seen those yet.
There's in one of the letters. I mean, I didn't understand a lot of the engineering and the silt
Yeah.
info, but the DEP said, for example, they have to make sure that the entire dam is removed, no remnant shall remain. And it occurred to me, would it be better to actually leave a little bit of a remnant so the stream is flowing on by, but then if you have a major storm, it backs up a little bit and kind of reduces, kind of alleviates some of that storm flow. I just was surprised to see that sort of criterion.
I
I don't know, have
believe,
they tested the dam that they removed in Pepperell maybe 7 or 8 years ago? Because that was
I don't
probably a
know.
similar one.
Did they leave remnants there?
I'm trying to recall. It seems like it did just because of the way it's all shaped, but
Mhm.
that might have been just what remained after, 100 years of being like that.
Well, right now, as I try to recall, the proposal for Whitney Pond is not to remove the entire dam. It's going to remove the dam at the spillway or adjacent there too, so that the elevations are lowered. The lake Whitney Pond itself will be reduced in elevation, but much of the dam on either side is at least now proposed to stay.
Yeah, so I was surprised by that criterion.
So that may be
They also, DEP also wants to see the proponent should consider relocation of fish, amphibians, and other aquatic species that may be stranded during the draining and dredging of Whitney Pond.
I love it.
That'd be a great Boy Scout project. I personally enjoy that kind of thing, but I don't see anybody actually doing
Well,
that.
that was one of my comments on the environmental notification form that was submitted, is that there was no inventory of the pond itself.
Yeah.
In terms of, I think we all can guess what's there, but there was no actual, no one went fishing, so to speak, to see what was there, the bluegills, the pumpkin seeds, the yellow perch, the, smallmouth, largemouth bass, pickerels, etc. White suckers, whatever else was in there. So, no one really knows what is going to be displaced. And I did take a quick look at, they contacted Division of Fisheries and Wildlife, and, their data regarding the fish species composition of the Whitman River, I guess just south of there, was, 40 years old, from 1980. Well, and it's like, and that was my other comment is, they say it's going to improve habitat for the stock species. I guess it's, whether it's brook trout, rainbow trout, brown trout, whatever it is. It's like, well, how do we even know those species are still there? Just because you stock them doesn't, they could disappear in no time. So, you're making a claim of fish species improvement, but who's to say? So
Who's driving this dam removal?
that's a good question. Who is driving this dam removal? It's something the town received a grant for way back when, and they retain the services of Park Corporation to do the environmental documentation. And they still have a grant to go through the permitting phase. Beyond that, it's anyone's guess who will, and once you get it permitted, the town has no money to move forward unless they get, for example, municipal vulnerability preparedness grant, action grant to, which is devoted to removing the dam. But, you know, that's not to say that there aren't other worthy causes for funds that are received pursuant to an action grant. So,
Yeah, because I mean, the dam might be in failure, most of them are, but if it lets go, does it really endanger anybody? And are those the best use of the funds?
well, therein is a good question. It's a significant hazard dam, I think, as are many others, including town-owned dams. Well, then again, Whitney Pond is one of them. But you're right. I mean, is removal of that dam the highest priority if the town were to receive an action grant? I don't know.
We need a planner, Marshall.
God damn it. I wish someone would send a letter to the Board of Selectmen and tell them that. Which, anyway. So yeah, I totally agree. And there's no guarantee, again, that Park Corporation would be the recipient of the grant monies to perform those services. I mean, it could be subject to a, open advertisement. And just because they did the preliminary work doesn't mean they are entitled to do the final. I mean, it happens all the time at the highway department, state highway department, as I've experienced numerous times. Just because you do the upfront work doesn't mean you're going to get the design work. So anyway, so that's where we stand at the moment.
Did we need to close anything with those last guys we spoke with? Do we need to vote on anything?
That's a good point. Yeah, I think we should. I'll move to.
Well, we recommended they're going to file and amend it, and so we'll vote on the amended order, right? So that.
So it wasn't an
Yeah.
official hearing?
No,
We'll vote
I
officially when
I mean,
amended.
I guess we've given them guidance, and if there was disagreement regarding the guidance, maybe we might have to do something different. But since we're basically in agreement of the guidance we provided, then we'll wait for the request for the amended order and then act on that. Okay. And just FYI, I did submit the 2020 annual report with amendments as Ian suggested.
It was just one pickaroonie copy editing detail.
Nonetheless, it was reverse possessive was not a good idea.
You should see me reading a menu. I'm not welcome most places.
No. Hey, I suffer from the same process. It's as from a language standpoint, I've dealt with in the past, some folks, younger folks, that continue to say that the river runs through or the boundary falls between, and I keep telling them, no, rivers don't run, they flow. And boundaries don't fall from the sky. They're located at, and it's that kind of verbiage, etc., that picky, but nonetheless. So I have no problem with whatever editorial commentary you may provide.
Okay.
All right, I just opened myself up now. Yeah, so, okay. I think that's it. As I said, the next time it's going to be a notice of intent on the illustrious proposed Butler Motel.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple other things. And I will send you, or Rich will send you, the motel related documentation, which I stole from his desk the other day. But, you know, I'll leave it to him now that he has a new computer to be able to, you know, send that to everybody. But if he doesn't, I will. So, so I think that's it. So if you feel, you know, so inclined to log into the town meeting, you know, you may have some time to do so. All right, so it being, I got 7:37, but 7:35, whatever, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All those in favor, Marshall Dennis, aye.
Ann O'Connor, aye.
And Chris Picconi out. Going to get my dinner myself.
Likewise. All right, folks, take
See you
care.
the next one.
Night, everybody.
We're ending as we speak. Take care.